All right, let's review some of this week's comic books. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and because I couldn't do a hangout today, I decided to just do a quick, pseudo hangout. So you're probably watching this live on the premiere, and for that, I thank you. I'll be back next week with another episode of the Hangout live where we can actually talk back and forth in the comments. But because I had a prior engagement, I decided to just go ahead and record this real quick and let you know what I thought about some of this week's books, as well as give you a sneak peek at some stuff coming up on the channel. So we'll start with that sneak peek because this video is brought to you by channel sponsor Organic Price Books, the best place to look for collected editions if you're looking for hardcovers, oversized hardcovers, standard size trade paperbacks, or, whoops. That transition was supposed to be so much smoother. I forgot I had books on top of those. So you might be looking for something like this, the Milestone Compendium, Volume 2, out this week from DC Comics and Milestone Media, collecting the second year of Milestone Publishing, so 1994, including the entire including the entire Worlds Collide event. So the Worlds Collide event brought us a crossover between Icon, Hardware, Static, all of our classic Milestone heroes, and the Superman family of titles, Superman, Man of Steel, Steel, and Superboy. So very, very cool stuff. This book's available right now from Organic Price Books, I believe at a price of $45, which is a markdown from $60. So you can grab that from them right now. Use code BJKicks at checkout and you'll save $2 on that order. Or you order a fat stack of comics like this, then you'll save 5% using code BJKicks. Ship it together. Now, looking at the rest of that stack, we got a bunch of reviews coming up, overviews coming up, I should say, because those are all my recent pickups. Channel sponsor sent some stuff over because they wanted you to see it. So Dark Knight's Metal, you can expect that overview soon. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 2, Wolverine Volume 3, Star Wars The New Republic Volume 1, and Daredevil by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson. You might notice right there, and since you're among one of the more dedicated people that's watching this premiere, I'll let you in on a secret. I just got a copy of Batman Nightfall Omnibus Volume 3 for below retail, thanks to my man Matt Henricks from the K Squad on Facebook for alerting me to the sale at Midtown. It was a damaged copy, but the damage is super minimal, so I'm just happy to have added that whale to my collection. We'll do an overview soon if you guys want that. Let me know in the comments down below, but that's going to do it for the recent pickups. Now, let's talk about some of this week's books. Now, you guys already know how I felt about this one right here, Static Shadows of Dakota, issue number 1, aka Static Season 2, issue 1. This is the Olivier Coipel cover C, and it's a great cover, probably my favorite cover out of the set. But I grabbed this book, I read it digitally the morning of release, so Tuesday, and then I went to the shop and grabbed, all the covers. So I got this one, got the B cover. Was it cover B or cover C? I don't know. The Chase Conley variant. Then I got the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50. Still to come will be the 1 in 100. That one was kind of expensive, so I'm going to pay for that over time, and eventually it will be mine. But the 1 in 100 cover is just this one with a foil cover instead of the regular. So that's that. But now let's talk about the book. I already did a full review on this, so I won't talk about this long, except to say 9.5 out of 10. Great book. It's better than season 1 because we're not doing a bunch of world building and we're straight to the action. If you haven't picked this up yet this week, go ahead and grab it. What are you waiting for? You can also get season 1 in a hardcover using the link in the description of this video. So now that that's over, let's talk about another book I read this week. Black Panther, issue 14. Let's just say, if you were expecting it to get better, that didn't quite happen. T'Challa is still getting treated like the redheaded stepchild in new ways somehow. But all this sets up the final battle that will happen in issue 15. And I don't know, maybe I'm missing what makes this run special. Maybe I need to divorce the run from like whatever my expectations were, and also all the outside chatter. Maybe this stands alone as its own story, but it's just not the direction I would want to go in with the title. And I'm very excited for the reboot in a couple of months by Eve Ewing. It's just a tear down T'Challa story. I feel like deconstruction works if the reconstruction is just as good, right? Like, take me down to the depths, show me how your hero has like resolved or, learned a lesson or whatever it is they needed to learn, how they dug deep inside themselves to overcome everything that was taken away from them. I just don't feel like one more issue is enough real estate to have a satisfying rise back to the top. And who knows, maybe we just end this with T'Challa down bad. And for me, that's just like, why end it with T'Challa down bad? T'Challa's such a majestic character. So this one, as far as the issue, how's it structured, it's not bad. It's so hard to judge this book as individual issues without just being really disappointed at the overall story. And it's so much more a story choice than like a critique of the individual issues. It's like, why did he choose this story to tell? All in all, I probably give it a 6.5. What really bothered me is there's a character in this book who is clearly supposed to be Wakandan, but talks like a young American. And it's like, they wouldn't use that type of slang. They wouldn't like have those types of pauses and whatever. I don't know. That actually, I like noticed it and it annoyed me without looking for things to nitpick the book. So anyway, 6.5, maybe 7, 6.5. Let's see. Let's move back to DC, where I did read Batman issue 132. Now, Batman 132, is this the second issue? Yeah, this is the second issue in a new story arc. The Batman of Gotham, I think is what it's called. It's written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Mike Hawthorne. And if I'm completely honest, I wasn't a big fan of issue 131. This one I enjoyed a bit more. Basically, Bruce Wayne, ever since the Failsafe arc, has somehow been transported to like a Gotham in another multiverse or another universe. And things are very similar, yet very different, because in this Gotham, there's no Batman. So Bruce feels the need to like fill in and be Batman in this Gotham, even though it's not his Gotham. This issue I liked a lot more than the last, because it really does play on what's familiar about this and how that familiarity affects Bruce. So I thought it was an enjoyable issue. But I don't know, there just felt like it felt like a little bit of a slower burn, this issue, and maybe it's just because he's not in his real Gotham. But I did enjoy like the emotional beats that are in here. But the backup story I actually like a little bit more. I think part of what makes me not like really able to get into this is the art. It's not bad. It's not terrible at all. It's not bad, but it's just a step down from Jimenez. But then the backup story, featuring Tim Drake, has art by, I always like to credit people when I can credit people. Of course, they don't credit the artist till the last page. Chip Zdarsky, art by Miguel Mendonça. Mendonça? I don't know. I feel like if your first name's Miguel, it's probably not like a weird Italian last name, right? Then again, it could be, because I don't know, multicultures. But anyway, the backup story I really enjoyed, and that kind of lifted the issue overall. What I liked about it is that the backup story feels directly connected to the A story. It's just in this one you got in the A story you got Batman in this weird multiversal Gotham, and then in the backup you've got Tim Drake in the real world consulting Mr. Terrific, trying to figure some things out. He's about to go on a mission to try to save Batman. And I really like that. I think out of this story arc, we're going to learn like what's so great about Tim Drake, or be reminded of what's so great about Tim Drake. I got to think Chip Zdarsky chose Tim as Batman's latest Robin or whatever for a reason. So That was cool. Overall, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. The backup really lifted the A story for me. A story I probably would have given a 7 on its own. And then let's move over to Marvel. So on Marvel, the last book I read this week so far is Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants, #1. This is technically standing in for X-Men Red for the next 2 to 3 months while we're doing the Sins of Sinister event. And I gotta say, it was good. It's really good. I mean, I could be biased because Storm is like one of my favorite mutants, but this one takes place, I think, in year 10. So the Sins of Sinister event is like, it takes place over several different periods of time. So kind of like Powers of 10, you got year 1, year 10, year 100, year 1000. I think they're just doing the 3. So this takes place in year 10 since Mr. Sinister's kind of started setting his whole like big master plan into motion. And like I said in my weekly pull list video, Storm seems to be the only one who kind of had sense enough to know, hey, something's off. And so Storm is going to be like one of our few lines of defense against Sinister, his schemes, his machinations, his plans, right? And yeah. So I liked where we're going. Storm kind of tells the story of how Arakko fell and how she plans to strike back. And there's a twist in this issue because there's always a twist in comic books, but it really kind of just elevates it and really takes the suspense up another level. But I like seeing the team that Storm assembles, and I like seeing like her plan to kind of save Arakko and save mutant kind. So give me a book with Storm as the lead any day. I'll take it. This one I'd give an 8 out of 10 as well. And that's actually it. That's the last book I read this week so far. Still up on my list to read is Monarch. I just picked this up today because the diamond shipment was late. There's a baby crying. Let's see. What else did I grab this week that I'm still waiting to read? Oh, I actually did read this. I read Amazing Spider-Man issue number 19. And gotta say, I mean, I wasn't terribly impressed. It was a fun issue. It was just clearly a fill-in issue. If you're a Spider-Man fan, if you like Joe Kelly's writing, you'll probably like this. There were some genuinely hilarious or funny. Hilarious is probably a strong word. Funny bits in here, but basically Peter and Black Cat are trying to go on like a little weekend getaway, and supervillain's gonna supervillain. There's a really funny thing in here where they get to their little vacation spot and Mary Jane and her new guy are there. And so there's like an awkward exchange. That was pretty interesting. And then you kind of get into, the sort of villainous plot for the 2 issues that we're going to be dealing with the villainous plot. And it was fine. It wasn't bad. It just, that's how I feel about Spider-Man as a whole lately. Not bad, just not necessary either. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I also wasn't feeling the Dodson's art as much as I usually do. There were some parts in this where it really felt rushed. So good issue, funny issue. If you're not reading Amazing Spider-Man regularly and you pick this up, you'll probably like it a lot. For someone who's been reading it for 19 issues, I'm just like, get to the point. Get to the stuff we came for. But that's still a couple of issues away. So still left to read on my to-do list. I got to read Monarch. I also got to read this one, Daredevil issue number 8. The big showdown with Frank Castle is coming. And that's it. If you want to see, no, that's not it. Haven't read Flash 792 yet. Nor have I read Monkey Prince 11 yet. So those are going right here on the to read pile. And then I did grab some variant covers because why not? Spider-Man had a lot of cool covers. For me to buy a book that I don't enjoy particularly well 3 times is kind of crazy. But look at this Planet of the Apes variant. I don't even know who did this cover, but I like it. It's Statue of Liberty, some apes, Spider-Man in a cool pose. Just a cool cover. I liked it, so I got it. Also, I'm doing the Disney 100 variant, so grab this Fantastic Four homage, featuring Pete, or Stinky Pete as he was once called. We got Donald Duck as the Thing. It's hilarious. Mickey as Mr. Fantastic, Minnie as the Invisible Girl, Sue Storm. That's just great. That is just great. It's a great homage. Oh, and Goofy as Johnny Storm. I just like that, so I grabbed it. And also, this one from last week, got this cover for Amazing Spider-Man issue 3. This is a Ken Lashley 1 in 25 variant. Came at a little bit of a premium, but Ken Lashley's one of my favorite artists, and I really like this pose, so I grabbed that. And then I ended up doubling back for the A cover on DC Power. So I don't know. I liked the A cover better than the 1 in 25, but Ken Lashley's one of my favorites, and the scarcity thing got me. It got to me this week or last week, so I went back and got the cover I really wanted. So yeah, those were my recent pickups. Those are the books that I read this week and what I thought about them so far. I'm still very interested in Monarch. Like, how is it going to go? Heard it wasn't amazing, but hey, I'm curious about it. As far as what's left to read, I'm probably going to be most excited about Flash. But yeah, man, sorry I couldn't hang out with you guys live. I figured I'd talk to you guys for a few minutes about what I bought, or what I read, excuse me. Oh, gotta show you this too. They reprinted the Static Poly bag, so I got one. That's exciting. To me, it's exciting. To you, that's a quick check, with all disrespect. I'm joking. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So that's all I got to talk about. It's weird doing this with no audience, so hope you enjoyed the premiere. Hope you guys talked to each other in the chat, and hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're reading something dope. I suck at signing off. All right, let's end this. Peace out.